Okay. It is the rundown. Is today February 1st, the last day of January?
January 31st.
January 31st. It is
after my birthday.
Happy birthday, belated, Dan. I don't like doing. I saw it all. I don't like doing that. I'm not a public birthday. Everyone's sucking your dick online. It's like you know it's your birthday. Listen, I've said this very clear. You don't have to do it. Everybody has a birthday. If you're alive, you have a birthday.
I agree. I actually don't like my birthday because getting older sucks. I just thought it was funny because every year I think we do it this exact rundown.
I almost just did it at 11:59. Be like, have birthday, so I don't have. But it's like I'm not a birthday guy.
No. Shout out to me for staying up to midnight.
He's a birthday guy. Weirdo.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Everybody has a birthday, Steven.
Yeah, it's my birthday.
Nobody did anything special. You have to have a birthday to be alive.
The rule is 20. I think it's a Patton Oswalt bit, but you get 20 birthdays in your life. And it's like when you're a kid, you use up a lot of them. Your 21st birthday, your 40, 50, 60, whatever. 37 for me is a complete bottom of the barrel in terms of meaningfulness.
Well, yeah, no, those you don't want coming. Like I don't want any birthday. My got one coming around the corner. I'm at the age I remember Renee used to be like planning out. She's like, I'm going to skip a couple just when she thinks like maybe you don't know it. So a 37 is a skip year.
Yes.
Like 37 would be a year you turn twice.
Yeah.
But when you got watchdogs like this nerd paying attention, everyone, you can't skip them.
To be clear, we did some things around DP42, DP43, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Bubbly Gang.
Okay.
You think I was doing that? Bubbly Gang and Paul Kaczynski were using my birthday as a way to get free trips for them. I wanted nothing to do with that.
Right. So that wasn't your enormous fathead face floating around.
You think I did that? You think I planned that, Steve? No, that's Bubbly Gang and Paul Kaczynski.
Shout out George Kittle though. The dab for my birthday.
That was very cool.
Was very cool.
There he is. There he is.
Okay, this is brought to you by 1-800-Flowers. There's a reason why you turn to 1-800-Flowers.com for Valentine's Day. Whether it's a medley of light and hot pink roses or timeless red roses, you can't go wrong with a bouquet from 1-800-Flowers. All roses from 1-800-Flowers are picked at their peak, cared for every step of the way, shipped fresh to ensure lasting beauty. I want to read this part now, word for word. To order the 18-stem Enchanted Rose medley for $39.99 or upgrade to 24 red roses for $10 more, go to 1-800-Flower.com, click the radio icon, and enter code RUNDOWN. That's 1-800-Flowers.com, code RUNDOWN. Hurry, offer expires Friday. I was actually looking at Valentine's Day. It falls on a Monday when we're coming back. It's the Monday after the Super Bowl. That's tough for guys.
The entire Super Bowl shifting to middle of February, it's going to take a few years to get normalized to that.
But when it lands on President's Day Monday, that's going to be awesome. Day off.
I don't think real people have President's Day off.
This
company has now given President's Day off. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it, Dave.
I didn't know that.
It's shocking. Shocking.
All right. Well, I didn't know that. Okay. NFL Super Bowl set. We got Rams versus the Bengals. I guess the thoughts. I mean, an epic collapse from the Chiefs. Epic, just epic, and so many different things you can point to. But the end of the first half, I mean, that basically was it. Not that we knew it at the time, but in hindsight, that was it. And Patrick Mahomes, he kind of choked.
Yeah, he big time choked. So I want to hear what your thoughts are, Dave, because I threw this out there. And I think it's one of those perfect debates that you can it's pretty much 50-50 from everyone that I've heard chime in. I think that loss to the Chiefs is worse than the Bills loss to the Chiefs because the Bills lost to the Chiefs. That was obviously the 13 seconds is a killer, but it was both teams playing a perfect game. You don't know what's going to happen. You got beat by the best. You played perfect. They played perfect. Those games always end up in a coin flip. The Chiefs are up 21-3 at home for the AFC Championship game. They don't score at the end of the half. And then the part that's crazy to me, they have 1st and goal on the 5-yard line with a minute left. to score a touchdown. You're the Kansas City Chiefs with all your weapons. I think if you're Chiefs fans, you will be replaying that because, Dave, you know you don't get a crack at this every year. It's someone gets injured, something happens, everything's different. That was like an inexcusable, that will haunt you in your brain forever type of loss, to be up 21-3, blow it, and to have first and goal at the 5-yard line to win that game. And it's not like it's not like the Bengals played a perfect game. You just didn't fucking execute.
So I guess I'm going to ask a question on how you're viewing this question. Is this a nameless? Like, I think Buffalo hasn't been there in so long, and they're 13 seconds away from hosting the AFC Championship. Yep. The Chiefs have had a degree of success.
Right.
So that would make me think I agree with everything you said, but Buffalo is so desperate and thirsty for that. I think it's worse for Buffalo.
Okay. So yes, I see what you're saying, but my counterpoint to that would be the stakes have completely changed for the Chiefs. You have Patrick Mahomes, who is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Like, you know this.
I don't think you can say that anymore, by the way.
Okay. So, but you know this, like, it's if you win one Super Bowl and you're the Chiefs, that's a complete disaster. The whole expectations have changed. Everything has changed for Kansas City. You have to win multiple Super Bowls to cement his legacy. All the stakes have been raised. So that's why it hurts. It actually reminds me, and like, obviously the Patriots went to the Super Bowl a couple times in between, but they blew a lead to the Colts 21-3. And they didn't win a Super Bowl for another like 8 or 9 years. Like,
we had 3 by then, so definitely a little different.
Right.
But yeah,
it's definitely different. But like, you don't know. Like, the other one that people bring up is Rodgers in the NFC Championship game against the Seahawks when they completely blow that game. And it's like, you think, oh, okay, we got Aaron Rodgers, so it's gonna be okay. It could not be okay.
That's the tweet that I just got. I was talking about it, and one of my guys, Austin, he dug it up, but I always remember this tweet. Brittany Matthews, obviously everyone hates her, but from December 9th, 2019, all Patriot fans, in quotes now, we still have 6 Super Bowls, LOLOL. Once Patrick has been in the league as long as Brady, then chat to me about Super Bowls. Patrick is 24, Brady is 42. You just wait. They may be waiting forever.
Right. That's the part. Like, and obviously you could pick either one. Like, the Chiefs fans will say one, the Bills fans will say another. I just think there's something about losing when you had it and you had it multiple times that just, you can't, like, that would eat me alive. When you lose to a perfect team, it's
the
totally
only thing
different.
about the perfect team is I don't think the Bills did not play that 13 seconds.
Yeah.
Correctly. So it was not like it was a minute and they just got beat. They fucked up pretty bad to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. I think Andy Reid is getting off pretty clean in this. Like, the first half, the decision to not only go for it with 5 seconds left, which I can agree with, but you got to do it. You got to know. This
but that's Mahomes. That's all on Mahomes.
Yeah. No, that's
got to be communicated. Like, you're either throwing it to the end zone immediately or you're throwing it in the
Mahomes, if you have to tell Mahomes that, then Mahomes is a joke.
No,
like,
yeah,
I actually thought, and I was watching with Elio and Eddie, I thought they should have run the ball right away, caught him off guard, and if they stop him, they stop him. But that was your best chance to run. That play, Mahomes just improvised and was an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and end of game 2, like, the clock is winding. They're playing it, Zach Taylor. He ended up being correct as far as trusting his defense, but with 2:40 to go, he's not stopping the clock. Theoretically, things could have gone completely sideways in overtime. They lost the coin toss. He lets it go fully down. He should have had time, and I know the defense made a stand. He should have had time for Joe Burrow to go back and win the game in regulation.
I disagree with that totally, because if he calls timeout, don't make that face, Steven. If he calls timeout, the Chiefs almost, to me, looked like they were caught in between. Like, they want to milk it, so they didn't want to give back. If you call timeout, I think that eliminates that, and the Chiefs get far more aggressive.
But and then that's another point to, like, what I'm saying about the Chiefs. Like, the Bengals deserved to win that game. Their defense was nails in the second half. Joe Burrow's scrambles, like, they won the game on that Chris Jones play where Joe Burrow almost got sacked twice,
100%,
and he gets that first down. But, like, think about it. It wasn't like the Bengals offense was incredible all day.
No,
they scored a 41-yard screen touchdown, and they scored a touchdown off of a Patrick Mahomes interception. It's like, if the Chiefs score a touchdown there with even a minute left, I think they win that game. The Bengals weren't driving on the Chiefs all day.
I tweeted that, and listen, Burrow is a monster. Clearly, turned that around, but that was the defense. I mean, 3 points in the second half, and you get the ball back in overtime. That was all their defense. But it does show. I mean, you watch and that was kind of the overtime with the Buffalo Chiefs game. Teams that win, and I love Brady. He's the best of all time. He's done with Tampa, which is great. But those Patriot teams had Brady, and they had bad mamma jamma defenses. They had like number one type. You need everything. You can have these high flying offenses. The Bengals defense, I don't know where they came from, to be honest. In football, always, I've seen a million times the Patriots. So many plays. If they get points at the end of the first half, the sack, so many different plays, one play goes the other way, it changes the whole game. I can't believe they came back in the game. I mean, I can't.
Yeah, it was shocking. It was absolutely shocking. And that's where I think that you just sit there and you're like, how the fuck did we blow an 18-point lead at home in the AFC Championship game when we were just rolling the Bengals? And that would eat me forever. Like, because again, these dying, like, think about the Seahawks. When the Seahawks won their first Super Bowl, it's like, oh, they're going to be in this every year. What do they got? One Super Bowl. That can happen. That's the NFL. It's just how it works.
Except for the Patriots.
Right. But I think it's warped people's minds that like these windows last forever. It's like, no, they don't. They don't. That was a complete anomaly what Belichick and Brady and the Patriots did.
We can't not mention this after talking about that game. Are the overtime rules okay now? I mean,
I thought they were okay before. I have no problem, and that's the point. It's just happened. You had a game where nobody could stop each other. This time, it worked out for a huge advantage for the Chiefs because even when you get the ball back, and the Bengals had the ball their own 40, 45. The defense is totally different because you literally can't give up 15 yards. So it changes everything on how you play defense. If you know they get like the Bengals weren't going down at will getting a touchdown, but it changes the entire way. It's such an advantage. If you obviously want the ball first, but if you stop them, it's a far greater situation to know you only need 3 because it opens up the entire field. So
especially with that kicker who's like insane.
I was ready to tweet out. I had one tweet that, I just had to tweet through. I can't believe Burrow wore what he wore to that game. Like, he's never dressed like that. Yeah, but he's never that chain like going in Kansas City. His legend is growing.
Well, and did you see his quote after?
The real diamonds?
Yeah.
Well, that was a ridiculous question.
I know, but I just love, I make too much money for these not to be real. And he has, upped his game. He wore those glasses against the Titans, every single step on the way. He's like the perfect level of cocky, where it's he's cocky, but then you're like, wait, he's cocky because he just thinks he's going to win all the time, and then he does win all the time.
Yep. And then the other game, the Rams win a nail-biter versus the 49ers. I like Stafford, but I pretty much hate everybody else on the team. I guess on my cup, but I hate OBJ. I mean, watching him play just irritates me to no end. You had a couple big misinterceptions that changed the tenor of that game. And now you got the Rams a 4-point favorite. Lions fans, I mean, I don't know Lions fans. It's tough.
I root for Stafford, right? For a Lions fan?
They are, but do you really? It's great. You want to see your ex go have the time of his life with his new fiance?
I think it's going to be one of those situations where they root for Stafford, and then if Stafford wins the Super Bowl, they're going to be like, wait, what did we just do?
Yeah.
Why did we root for that? To basically prove that we're a really bad organization. But Kyle Shanahan, I love the guy, but man, he can't coach in the fourth quarter of a big game. So there's three out of there's been 4 times in the last 5 years where a team has been up double digits in the fourth quarter in a championship game or Super Bowl and blown the lead. He's been part of 3 out of 4 of those. That's something just doesn't compute in his brain. That punt, when he punts it from the Rams 45, it's just, I don't understand it. And McVay was also trying to throw the game away.
McVay to have 0 timeouts when you're losing in the fourth quarter on challenges that you have to be absolutely blind. Without challenge on the fumble, he was holding on the ball.
Up the screen.
He was holding on the ball for 5 minutes on the ground. I don't even think there was a fumble.
He challenged a fucking QB sneak spot. That's a 0% chance you can get that.
Impossible. I mean, you can't argue with his results. That was some of the worst in-game coaching I've ever seen, ever. Period. Like,
Like both.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the fumble, Aaron picked it up and just put the ball down. Like, obviously, if your own guy doesn't think he got the fumble, don't challenge it.
The guy had a firm grip on the football for 5 minutes on the ground. It was just sitting there holding. There wasn't even a disputed anything. It was crazy. You got, which I think this line is off, to be honest. Rams -4. I think this is a pick 'em. I don't know why the Rams are 4-point favorites. Spread is 50. Any early thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't understand. Like, the Bengals +4, they just hang around. They have not. I think they've lost maybe 2 games all year. Or no, I don't think they've lost a game with Burrow by more than 3. So it's like
they've covered 7 straight.
Yeah,
and
what are we doing?
And the way their defense is playing, what makes you think that the Rams are gonna torch them? The Rams' offense hasn't looked that great against anybody. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the other big news that came out, obviously, the Brady retirement, non-retirement. I think we all agree this is. What are you smiling at, Steve?
Steven thinks he's got sources, Dave. This is why Steven's on this show right now. He is definitely convinced himself that Brady's not retiring.
You don't think he's retiring?
Well, it's weird, right? Because what gave me pause, so Friday night, Jason LaConfora, who's wrong about everything, says that Brady's going to retire. I'm holding firm, and I tweeted this Friday night. I'm not going to believe until Jeff Darlington says it. Jeff Darlington.
Wasn't he part of the Schefter article?
Yes. So that's why I was nervous. So it came out Saturday from Jeff Darlington and Schefter. So if anyone's going to break, it's going to be Jeff Darlington. Then NFL media runs with it. TB12 Sports runs with it, but then TB12 Sports deletes it. So now everything's coming back. It turns out he hasn't called the Bucs. Bruce Arians spoke to him the other day and Brady said he's nowhere close to making a decision. Tom Brady Sr., his dad, said he hasn't made up his mind one way.
You haven't said anything that anybody doesn't know yet.
The way he's saying it, Dave, he thinks that he knows something that we don't. Like, did you hear about the deleted tweet? I don't think anyone's seen that.
Yeah, I am waiting for you to say something that makes me think anything different that has been literally headline news.
All right, so I'm going to break news right now, and that if Tom Brady is really not firm in his decision and still up for grabs, I am willing to put myself on the line. I will do the TB12 method for 1 year if he decides to return, with the exception of family birthdays and major holidays.
No, that doesn't count. No, you can't say that.
Wait, what does that prove to anything if he comes back?
Well, it'll help out his business. I'm sure it'll be better publicity.
Oh, you think you're luring him back? You think you're luring him back? Let me ask you this, Stephen. Yes. I've heard a lot of people who say he was so disgusted with Arians and Tampa Bay and so unhappy. That's why he's retiring. Like, because he always said he wants to play, till he's 50 or whatever. As long as he thinks he's still got it. He was the MVP of the fucking league. But your boy AB and the rest of the clown show that they have in Tampa Bay is the reason he just can't have it.
It's his boy, AB. AB was brought in because
you did put your reputation on the line for him.
What you don't think the fact that he doesn't he's sick of Arians shit. He couldn't met last 2 years.
They have a great relationship.
Wait.
So then why? Why would he retire?
Wait, Steven, you have no sources, you're no breaking news, anything. You're just saying you're gonna go on a fucking diet if he comes back.
That's
for a year.
But that doesn't. I thought you were going to tell us something like something. You don't know anything.
Dan, you saw that because he said, "I have some breaking news for you," and then he said,
"I have an offer."
Yeah, also, the diet doesn't. You can't fucking be like, I'm not like, yeah, dude, I'm on a diet too, except for Saturdays, my birthday, Super Bowl week.
Well, outside of family birthdays and major holidays.
No, you don't get to do that. You have to be all in or all out.
Well, if it's my fucking kid's birthday, then yeah.
You're eating an avocado. Tough shit.
Steven, I thought I threw you a bone, and I listed my young gun NFL quarterbacks, and I threw Kyle Trask in there for you at 14.
That was nice.
12, yes. That's why I didn't dispute the list.
The heir apparent is what Steven has called him.
Yeah. Now, you guys are going to be irrelevant forever again.
I'm still so confused. Steven, you have nothing? You have nothing. You're not bringing any information to the table that makes us think that Brady's not retiring.
I have been in contact with several people, and it's still very misty.
Dude, he's retiring. He's waiting. He's waiting.
Well, I'm saying it's still undecided.
He's waiting to get his payment, and somebody at
ESPN, so it doesn't matter. That actually doesn't matter. What I found out is that if he retires, he actually has to pay that back. So the February 4th thing actually does not matter.
No, it matters. He's keeping it, and he probably filmed.
If he keeps it, great. That means he's
man in the. No, he's keeping it the way he's keep the man in the arena. Yeah. He probably filmed which I saw Toucher Rich, and I talked to Jerry. He probably filmed that episode, which is his retirement. He wants to control it, and somebody at ESPN Plus leaked it to those clowns. The only way he'd play is to spite them, which maybe he's not beyond, but he'd probably go to the Raiders.
He can't. He's under contract with us.
He can do whatever he wants.
Sure.
If he just, how long do you have to retire for?
He added a lot of void years onto his contract, so we have until he's like 50.
Yeah, but I feel like what's he going to do? If he says he's sick of this show, they're going to keep him there. He runs the whole league. But he's done. He's done.
So we get a bevy of picks for him. Great. Anything would be better than a retire.
So Steven, let's say because you have not given us any information to the contrary.
I gave you. I have been in touch with people, and it's unclear.
What exactly. So again,
he hasn't made his decision yet.
Who's your not given us anything?
Your people is just reading the news. You haven't said one thing that's different.
Correct. I have people. You don't reveal your sources.
He has people.
So then say something different.
Sources. I could say their names right now.
That's the news. What's out there is the news.
So that's not a source. You just read ESPN.com.
I've confirmed it with several people.
Okay. Steven, if he does retire, Hall of Fame?
I would say first ballot, pretty easy. Sucks for Big Ben, right?
No, I tweeted that, and I think Steeler fans are going to take this as like a personal affront because they're like, Canton's our backyard. It's going to be if it's Ben and Brady at the same time, it's going to be like a war for the stands and for the people. For like, it's going to be incredible to watch. It's your one last stand, Dave. Like you're gonna have to do it. You're gonna have to go to jail one last time for Brady.
I was talking this crazy. I've had the cops involved in my life 3 times in the last 20 years, and they've all revolved around Brady. Howitzer Gate, Deflate Gate, and then when I got dragged out of the Super Bowl, like literally 3 times I've talked to the police in a like serious manner, and they've all been around him.
Have to make it 4. You're fucked, Steven. You are.
Well, how quickly do you think we forget his little dalliance with the Bucs? I think pretty quickly.
I think he should have a statue at Raymond James Stadium.
Which is crazy. That's crazy.
That's not. He's one of the best Bucs of all time already. Greatest quarterback we've ever had by a mile. A guy who plays for your team for 2 years in 10 minutes, nobody's going to remember. Played for your team. You're saying what? You want a statue? Yes. Yeah,
it hasn't set in though with Steven how like monumental this is for his own life.
Yeah, it's over. And in every facet, you think he's on this rundown. Steven Contenche is basically dead. He goes back to just sitting at his sales desk, breaking down footage of a team nobody cares about.
No, I've thought about this, and our division is very weak right now. Very weak. So no matter what.
Kyle Trask?
I've started looking at Kyle Trask highlight tapes for sure. There's not much as far as pro stuff, but yeah, as far as college stuff, I've been into it. I've been in touch with people asking a lot of Kyle Trask questions.
I feel like when you say you're in touch with people, it's kind of like Montgomery Burns when he just or Michael Scott in The Office. Like, I declare bankruptcy. I don't think you're talking to anybody. You're just like talking to yourself in your own head. This is brought to you by MVMT Watches. Valentine's Day right around the corner, and we know finding the right gift can be stressful, especially again this year because the way it falls the day after the Super Bowl. It's almost impossible to ask a guy to concentrate on Valentine's Day when the Super Bowl is the day before. That's why our friends over at MVMT Watches have already done the hard work for you with the huge site-wide sale. MVMT is a Valentine's Day favorite with timeless watches, 18K fine jewelry pieces, and special edition styles like rare ceramic watches and bracelets. You can save on these gifts right now. Just choose a watch and a matching accessory. Get an immediate 20% off your order, plus free shipping, free returns. Always shop 20% off today with free shipping, free returns by going to mvmt.com/rundown. Go to mvmt.com/rundown for the most stress-free Valentine's gifting yet. MVMT. Style shouldn't break the bank. Join the movement. MVMT.
Wait, I have one last question about Brady. Steven, will you be joining Dave in Canton?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there will be a contingent of Bucks fans there. I'll be wearing
No, I don't know if that's true.
Why? He's one of the greatest Bucks
there
ever
for
played.
a cup of that. He was there for 2 seasons.
He won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he won 6 with a different team. It was there for
Guys
like
have
20
no Super
years.
Bowls this decade.
I do want them to do the 10-day contract with him. Bring him
Yeah,
back
fine.
home. Get rid
Sure,
of this
of course.
Tampa Bay. I don't like people who wear the matching shirts split down the middle. That's lame. He's done. He did his thing. All right, fine.
Crazy.
It is crazy that he's going to retire. I tweeted this on Saturday. Like, the fact that Tom Brady is going to retire at 44, and you could absolutely make the argument that he left 2 or 3 years on the table, is fucking insane.
Well, that leads me to believe that the Bucks are that dysfunctional. I mean, who was the guy right after the season? The guy who's been there for 10 years on the Bucks, who came out is like, we got issues. Who was that guy? Vontae, was it something?
Levante David?
Yeah. What did he say?
I'm not familiar with this guy. I mean, he's very much a team guy. I mean, they messed up the call and he had an issue.
No. Don't play dumb.
They said they all said this was one of the tightest locker rooms they've ever been a part of.
No. You're going to play dumb?
I am honestly unaware of a quote that said the Bucks are extremely dysfunctional.
Levante David said Bucks had a lot of turmoil going on in our organization.
That's probably about Antonio Brown. I mean, what do you think?
How can you be unaware of that quote? He said that the second it was over.
The quote turmoil was asked with Levante David did say that, and they asked Bruce Arians about it. He said you have to ask Levante David. That was
so what are you talking about? You don't know. I literally said the guy's name and that there was chaos in the organization. He said a lot of turmoil.
Chaos and turmoil, I think, are very different.
Turmoil's bad.
Turmoil's bad.
In the last in a 4-week span, the Bucks went from 2 of their guys being late to the game because the pilot got COVID and they just came off the COVID list, missed the entire first and second drive. Antonio Brown goes nuts, leaves the team, gets cut.
He said, she said, Brady's guy, Arian thrown him under the bus, sued. A lot of turmoil, Steven.
Turmoil is worse than chaos. You can live with chaos. Yeah, no. Chaos. You can get chaos and control it. Like the fucking 86 Mets are chaos. That's not turmoil. Turmoil is like shit's bad.
No.
Barstool Sports is chaotic. There's no turmoil.
And by the way, I don't. Yeah, there may have been some turmoil last week. I'll talk turmoil
last week.
But let me say this, Steven. You just played dumb. You're like, I'm unaware of this quote.
Well, you said there's chaos. There was no chaos. Yeah, there was.
I gave you the guy's name who came out right after the season. It's like, we have turmoil. Like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right. Well,
did you know about that quote?
Everyone also said this was one of the most
about that quote?
Including Gronk. What?
Did you know about that quote?
Yes, yes.
Dude, Gronk saying that it's a tight locker room. Like, I love
They
Gronk.
all said it. They all said it.
Come on.
Gronk said it ranks right up there with the most tight locker rooms.
Gronk never stops smiling. The guy's the happiest guy in the world.
I mean, I'm still optimistic that he's coming back. I think all of this media about Tom Brady retiring is just more ammo for him to be like, fuck you guys, and come back and do a revenge tour, which is what I want. That's all I want.
You can't use revenge tour. That's also been copyrighted by me for after Spygate and Deflategate. So we literally sold T-shirts that said the revenge tour. So that you cannot say.
What do you think about the theory, Dave?
Revenge tour.
No.
What do you think about the theory that he intentionally leaked this to screw with Jason LaConfort and Schefter, who are big Deflategate guys?
But Schefter was not a big Deflategate guy.
He's a Michigan guy. And also
Schefter and Mortensen are one, basically. I mean, Mortensen's in Schefter.
No. Mortensen was front of the lines. I mean,
look at Schefter's avatar. It's him and Mortensen.
Stephen Shea, do not sit here and try to tell me who was on the front lines at Deflategate. All right? I never went after Schefter once.
You're really retelling. You're retelling Dave's life to him.
Yeah, Schefter was.
If Brady does come back and the report is wrong, what should happen to Adam Schefter?
Jail.
I mean, what do you do? It's a misreport. It's very embarrassing. It's a career. I mean, that's something you can't be wrong about the greatest, maybe athlete of all time announces retirement. ESPN doesn't even put up the news that it's in question, by the way.
They doubled down.
I was watching Kentucky, Kansas, and at halftime they had Schefter on. He was like, I'm standing by this 100%.
Mike Reese wrote like an open thank you letter to him so they'd have egg on their face. I don't think it's happening. But big controversy is Seth Rogen for Spotify. Rogen came out with the video. This is one. So Rogen, he does his 3-hour podcast. He talks a lot about
Joe
COVID. Joe Rogan. Who did I say? Seth? Joe Rogan. Yeah. And then you had Neil Diamond take his music off. Who's the other one who just did it?
Neil Young, right? And someone else.
Neil Young and Joni Mitchell. And
so anyone who was big into folk music in the 60s is going to be
correct
upset.
And I was reading some of the comments. I actually have no problem with any of it. The people are making no sense. You have the free speech Rogan people, but theoretically, what Neil Young and Joni Mitchell are doing is free speech too. They're like, we don't like it, you can pull it off. So this is just free market. This is a capitalistic. Spotify's like a for-profit company. They're going to make decisions not based on, I don't think what they think is morally correct, but what's best for their wallet. And the only way to do it, if you're a customer of Spotify, you want to boycott. If you're not, and you want Joe Rogan, come back twice as hard.
I just love negotiations that backfire like this. It's just so fucking funny. It's
what do you mean?
Like Neil Young being like, I'm pulling my shit. And they're like, okay, cool, do it. Like, we don't care.
That's the right move by Spotify. Now,
yes. No, I just love whenever that happens. It's so funny to me. It's like, I mean, you've had these, what was it, Dante? And then Billy Football this summer when he was negotiating his contract with me, he was like, I have another job offer for like double. And I was like, you should take that. And he's like, well,
that's we're having that with Jared Carabas right now. And he may take that, but he's like, I got this offer. It's like, well, that's a great offer. And if you get it, great. I do wonder with these people who are pulling off, like Rogan's not going anywhere because they're spending so much money on him.
Yeah.
How do you come back?
What's the line?
Well,
Rihanna?
I mean, you'd have to get like the tail. I don't know how Spotify's business model goes. Like,
did they all try that a few years ago? Like, didn't a bunch of artists just like exclusively go on Tidal, which is now I think
that was the Jay-Z thing because they didn't think they were getting paid enough. Yeah, they didn't have the libraries. I don't think any one artist can make a difference to them, to be honest.
It's got to be like Swift? A super team. It's got to be like Drake, Rihanna,
Taylor Swift, like the biggest of the big. Yeah, and they don't care. They're going to look at dollars and cents. But my question is like, does Neil Young and Joni Mitchell, after 2 years go by, and like, can we get back on? Or are they just off forever?
I like Neil Young. I'd miss his music.
You miss
I've never listened to Neil Young once.
Neil Young, Heart of Gold.
I like Neil Young, but I can't say that like you can.
I've never listened to one of his music on Spotify. Never, not one song.
It's the internet though. You can still find his music.
I think I like Joni Mitchell more. And I will say, I think people are greatly underestimating creating playlists on Spotify is like a time-consuming, exhaustive thing. You put in years of work into that. Just because a couple singers go, you're not going to lose it. Brian Dabo. Brian Dabo? Dabo. Brian Dabo.
Dabo. Like
Dabo.
Day and a bowl of salad. Yeah.
Dabo. Brian. I'm saying Brian Dabo. The Giants.
Ryan.
Brian Dabo.
You got it.
The guy wore his suit jacket in the truck. I mean, that's bananas move. Bananas. Everyone's like, oh, he means business. He came out with his suit. Who drives with their suit jacket? That's out of a truck. Bananas.
The cat tweeted about it earlier. I hate these videos. They're awful. It's just like, what is he supposed to do? Like, I like the Ryan Poles one where he gets there and they cut it off right before he gets in the building. There's no way he has his ID card. Like, there's no way. It's a Monday at like 5 a.m. probably.
All you have to know about these videos is that we saw it last week. It was literally back-to-back tweets. They were like released like 4 seconds apart from each other. The Giants new GM and the Bears new GM being like, time to get to work. Basically being like, yeah, look, he's going into office early. That's going to fix everything. Like, stop. What are we doing here? Stop. It was awkward. You could see Dable being like, can I just get out of my truck and go to work? Like, what are we doing?
And as I said, more importantly to me, like, I would not trust. Maybe, but no, you can't wear a suit jacket in the thing.
I bet you he fucking did. I bet you he like came to work in his sweatpants, and they're like, all right, we're gonna need you to put this suit back on and go around the block real quick.
There was some controversy. Did you see the pictures with him holding the helmet? There's a number 2 on it, and somebody asked Clem if that's Mike Glennon's helmet or is it a 22 for the year.
I knew when he said that it wasn't going to be controversial at all. That's a Stephen Shea classic.
I mean, it's I think that's an interesting part of the story. Imagine he's holding up Mike Glennon's helmet at his press conference.
Jake Paul
just grab the helmet.
Anybody's. Yeah, I don't. Are you trying to insinuate that he's putting the future of the Giants behind Mike Glennon?
No, not at all. But just like the Giants don't pay enough attention to detail, they're just giving him fucking any guy's helmet. That's Mike Glennon's helmet.
Controversial.
Jake Paul made a rap video going after Dana White. Pretty good, by the way, I think so. I mean, Jake Paul, he's the best instigator maybe ever to do it. And Dana White, I had him on my pod the other day. I asked him what he thought about it. I was like, I kind of respect him. There's no way he's not blood boiling when this stuff comes out. And how do you even respond to him? Like, Jake Paul just hits you from so many different annoying angles. It's like, what do you do?
I think you got to ignore it. The Fat McGregor was hilarious in the video. Like, he did a great job with that video. But yeah, I think you're only like, if you're Dana White, you kind of are in a lose-lose. If you respond, you can't play on Jake Paul's level. So you have to just kind of ignore it, right?
But he can't ignore it. He always seems to respond.
Yeah.
It's a tough spot.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fish out of water here. But Jake Paul, awesome instigator. My favorite is the hat grab. Was that Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah. That was also brilliant. And then you guys, how much snow did you get?
Like, probably about 6 inches.
Oh, so not bad. New York never gets hit like Boston does. Boston got 20, 25 inches. Elio was here. His flight was canceled. He just left early. And I love, as much as I like being in the nice weather right now, the videos, there were a couple just masshole videos. There were 2 guys, ski goggles on. and I mean, the wind is going like 90 miles per hour. Just they can't even see. And they're like asking about Brady's retirement. Then he's like, well, Brady's gone, Gronk's gone. And then he's like, what are you guys doing? I was like, just looking for an open Dunkin' Donuts.
You told me as you were first walking by, where are you guys trying to go right now? We're trying to find an open Dunkin' Donuts.
And then he had another guy, a plow driver, just talking about this is just bread and butter, putting butter on, snow moves.
It's real easy. It's like bread and butter. You know, it's like a Thomas's English muffin with some jam. Spreads nice and gets all the nooks and crannies. It's powder. It's easy.
Very massal, very, very blizzard. Makes me laugh all the time. I miss home, not the weather, but
I love snowplowers. There's just something about them. They're just fucking like, just guys who like are like, all right, fucking put the plow on. We're gonna go and like, I don't know. They're just silent heroes. I love them.
The 36-hour shifts, all of it.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the snow blower video with the 2 going at it?
Yeah, just straight snow blowing each other in the face. And by the way, that's how it should be said. There was no violence. They just took their snow blowers, pointed them at each other, and unloaded the snow on each other. Perfect.
Steven, did you get a lot of snow? Are you worried about flooding?
Not worried about flooding. We did get 6 to 8 inches. I shoveled it.
Dave, I don't even think Dave knows this, but Stephen Shea had maybe the worst old takes exposed of all time in Barstool Sports history. Last summer when he said that he got a great deal on his house because it's in a flood zone and it's a 1 in 100 year flood. And then we had that hurricane and his entire house got ruined. It was like
7
he had
feet
to
of water in
almost
some
be rescued
parts.
by a boat.
That is great. I didn't know that.
It's a 1 in 100 year flood. That's why he got such a great deal. And then the one
you didn't know that. That was in my presentation. Did you see my house got flooded? You gave me no breaks on that.
I must have zoned out during that part. Other news, Danny Boy Kane has a big stream tonight. He's been going through a hell of a time. He's got his 247 Canes guy, from what I can follow, has been threatening to maybe murder people.
No.
Yeah. But he's known him forever. That's what I'm following. So Danny was debating not doing the stream today. He is going to do it. We'll see how he handles that, but that's a big stream tonight on Canes time.
What time?
7, I believe.
He's going
to talk about their schedule coming out, but I think there's going to be a lot of questions about 247 Canes.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And then
tough history with that school. Ray Lewis, an alumni, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That's a fact. And then that's it. Last week there was a lot of turmoil at the office, clearly on all sorts of fronts. I think that's about it.
Not chaos though, just turmoil.
No, I'm not there, but it seemed like chaos.
Yeah, there's
so
chaos.
Moved up from turmoil to chaos.
There had that buzz. Yeah. There's that buzz in the office sometimes when it's like, ooh, something's going down. That was.
And I texted you. Elio does not consider him and Mr. Ice the same person.
It's insane.
That was breaking news for me.
Insane.
I lost everything that he gave me, and I never even got to the Mr. Ice picks because he does those at night. But everything during the day was losing. And then this was not for content. I heard him talking to Eddie. I walked downstairs. He's like, yeah, I'm 5-0-1 in my last 6. I'm like, I'm 1-4 in the picks you've given me, Elio. He's like, no. That's Elio. He's different. Elio's not great. Mr. Ice, he never loses.
You can't do that.
Crazy.
You can't do that. Insane.
So I guess that's about it. Super Bowl week, by the way, 4 to 7. We're going to figure out the programming. We're going to be at
Saddle Ranch.
So 4 to 7 LA, Monday through Friday. Come see us at Saddle Ranch. We'll get the exact schedule for
Yak. I think Yak 2 hours, and then you, Dave.
Yep.
So it's gonna be great. Yeah, we got a lot of plans for the Yaks. It's gonna be awesome live shows all week.
All right.
A lot of plans.
What does that mean?
Steven still think I can't believe you came with no fucking sources.
0.
What are you talking about? I do have sources.
Your whole fucking presentation was that you were gonna go on a diet.
I think that's a pretty compelling for a year.
No, but you also your breaking news is like Brady hasn't told the Bucks either way. It's like, well, I mean,
no, he talks literally. He talks about Saturday. That's
literally and said he hasn't made a decision.
I know. Wouldn't it be weird if you went to your employer and you were going to
not if he has no respect for Arians in the organization, which is why
he does. He has a great relationship with everybody. I don't know why you're taking this so out of context,
Steven. I think you got to tweet that because, imagine if Brady doesn't get word about this diet and he makes a decision.
I'm in talks with his people.
Oh, his people. Okay, great. All right, because I don't want Brady to retire and then you're like, wait, one more thing, I'm going to do this diet, and he's like, oh shit, I already signed my papers.
I'm pretty sure it's not coming today, but we'll see.
All right, well, get on it.
By the way, one last thing, how's the game time thing going?
Was this the game time meeting? Because I wasn't on the group text.
No, just friends hanging out.
Just friends hanging out?
Just friends hanging out. Okay. Talking about the show.
Talking
about the show. You've had this room for 8 months to use. Could have came in anytime. Could have came in anytime, right now. This is what we've been asking you to do for 8 months.
Oh, because I've been removed from the group text.
Why are you gonna yell? You're a grown
I've been
man.
removed.
Why are you gonna raise your voice?
I'm not Spider. Am I raising my voice?
Started raising your voice.
If you guys invited me to a group text.
Oh, I don't know. I saw Smitty wished Devlin a happy birthday today. I thought that was interesting because I don't think they talk. I have not.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Riggs and him hate each other.
It's bad. It's bad. But then again, it's CBS. CBS just gets, he riles shit up. It's not Smitty.
I did see some of Riggs being like, it would be nice for him to find the time to tweet once in a month. And Emrags, yeah, I've been there. I know that, but you can't Smitty works on his schedule, not yours.
I did a gambling stream yesterday with talking about props with Mincy and Smitty, and I show up early and Smitty's the only guy there, and I'm like, we're trying out a new platform, Discord, for a Barstool Sportsbook thing, and I was like, wait a second, are there any tech people here? He's like, oh no, I do this. I was like, you're the tech guy? Two times he tried to answer people's questions and just hung up on himself.
Oh man. Smitty. Oh, one last thing, Dave. You should put this on your radar. Frank the Tank has claimed that the New Jersey Devils gave him a warning for being too loud at games. So that might be a fight that we got to get, like, everyone's got to get behind. And they're apparently upset that people keep coming up and asking for pictures during the game. So, like,
that sounds like a super fan type situation in Detroit.
Yep. So we might have to go to war with the Devils. I told Frank, I was like, I'm standing by, but the minute you tell me, I'm ready to go.
I thought the Devils embraced the Tank.
Apparently the Tank's too big for the Devils.
No pun intended. All right. That is a review. That's a rundown.